Hey, hello, it's Hannah J, and today I'm going to be telling you guys a story. Now, this story actually happened recently. It happened, I'm gonna say, let's say like a month ago. I'm not sure if that's correct. Wait, actually, I can check on my, that was really close, I'm sorry. I got super close to you guys, I apologize. I just remembered I still have the text messages, so I could tell you guys the story. So this is a story time. Now, I need to find out how far away it was. So I'm not lying to you about it being like a month away or whatever. This happened... I don't know, a long time ago. Yeah, this happened like a little over a month ago. Anyways, I figured out the time for you guys. Time frame. Okay. So, I'm a high school kid. If you guys didn't know that. I'm a senior in high school. I graduate soon. And so, you know those kids in your class that no one talks to because they're really weird? Okay. Well, I'm the type of person that if I see that you have no friends, I'm going to make friends with you because I don't like other people being lonely. I don't. I can't stand it if someone's, you know, upset. So, there's this kid. He's in my first and second period. And so, I've seen him, you know, he doesn't really, I've seen him talk to one kid, I think. In both of our classes, he's only had one friend in my second period. And that's not really a friend, they just sit next to each other, you know what I mean? So, you know, I always was like, oh, he's all alone, like, you know, maybe he wants friends. And so I went on a field trip, and he was on it, and I was like, oh, hey, you're in my classes, and he was like, yeah. And so I made friends with him, you know, I was like, oh, you know, he always read his Bible, and if you know me, I am religious. I do have my beliefs, and I am very strong in them. So I was like, oh, you always read your Bible? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, you know, I'm Christian too. He was like, oh, that's really cool. So we, you know, I tried to bond with him, try to make friends with him. And he was like, oh, can I have your number? I was like, oh, sure. You know, what's the harm? You know, you're gonna text me and like want to hang out, you know, whatever. So this kid texts me. He's like, hey, it's blank. And I was like, hey, it's me. And then he said, are you going to prom? And I was like, oh, this kid's gonna ask me to prom. You know, I didn't plan on going to prom, so I was like, ugh. And I was like, I don't know. He was like, will you go to prom with me? And I was like, oh, that's sweet, you know, he wants to go to prom with me. But, you know, I was like, I don't really know if I'm going to prom. I don't really think I am, and if I do, my friends have already told me that we're going as a group. And he was like, oh. And I was like, I'm sorry, dude, like, we can still hang out, and, like, you know, we can still, like, hang out at prom, you know, and, like, dance or whatever. He was like, okay, that sounds cool. He was like, but, you know, I kind of want a girl to go with me to prom so I can feel like I achieved something. And, like, I felt bad. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like, that, you know, you'll find someone. And then he was like, hey, I have a really odd question. And I was like, oh, he's gonna ask me, like, something weird, like, normally, guys ask me what the size of my boobs are. So I'm like, he's gonna ask me that. Because that's the first thing that pops in my head whenever a guy is like, oh, I have a weird question. Because 9 out of 10 times, that's what they ask me. So I was like, he's gonna ask. And then he was like, can you keep this between us? And I was like, yep, that's definitely the question. Like, there's nothing else that I could think of that's really weird that he could ask. And I was like, okay, cool, you know. And normally, I don't talk about stuff like this. Like, if someone tells me to keep a secret, I try my best to keep it unless, like, I feel like it's endangering someone or it's really, really disrespectful. And even then, if it's something that isn't disrespectful to me, then I try to stay out of it. And I just try to give, like, the person who told me, I try to, like, be like, hey, you know, that's kind of disrespectful, like, you know what I mean? Anyways, so, this kid, I was like, oh, he's gonna ask me that, and then he was like, would it be possible for me and you to do like a one-night stand? I find you really attractive, and I just want to have sex with you and lose my virginity. I was like, I had only been friends with this kid for like 2 weeks, and I was like, what? Like, that just caught me off guard. And then he, I didn't respond right away, and he was like, oh, no matter what the answer is, can you still be friends with me? Like, can you not look at me in a different way, please? And then he was like, delete the text immediately. And I was like, nope. I was like, screw you. Like, no. I was like, I told him I was saving myself for marriage, which I am. Like, normally I wear purity rings. Like, I'm not against premarital sex. I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So, I was like, yeah, no. Like, that's not happening. I've only known you 2 weeks, so there's no way that would even happen. Like, that, I can't even consider it with you. Like, that's really rude and, like, really disrespectful to ask a girl. Like, I don't know how you guys were raised, but I was raised that is disrespectful. Like, you never ask a girl for a one-night stand. Like, that is so rude, and that is so, like, that's asking her if she's a slut. And I'm like, that's just so disrespectful. I wouldn't even ask it. Like, if I was a guy, I wouldn't even ask a hooker that type of question, because it is rude and disrespectful in so many ways. That's in my head. Like, that's my opinion. Anyway, so that really made me mad. And then he was like, okay, well, do you know anyone at school that's a hoe? And I was like, no, I don't. I was like, I don't know anyone, Because he was like, oh, you know people, and, like, you would know someone. And I was like, nope. I was like, nope. Sorry, I'm looking at the text so I can, like, make it. And then I was like, no, I don't know anyone, sorry. And he was like, oh, please don't think less of me. And I was like, you kind of already, like, brought yourself down a few levels. Like, I just thought you were, like, some loner who needed friends, and now you're, like, a scumbag. So, like, kind of do think differently of you. Anyway, so then the next day, he texted me and was like, hey, if I asked you on a date, what would you say? And I was like, obviously, I would say no. After everything else you've asked me, my answer would obviously be no, because I already know, that you don't want to get to know me. You don't want to date me. Like, you've already asked, And he was like, okay, well, I thought I'd give it a shot. And I was like, you've already asked me for a one-night stand, and you expect me to say yes to a date. Like, no, I'm not gonna. If you would have asked me on a date before you asked me on a one-night stand, I might have said yes. But the fact that you think that you can get a date from me after trying to, like, have sex with me, that's not happening. That's rude and, like, super disrespectful. So, like, that just happened, and I am not. To me, it, like, kind of shocked me. Like, I kind of, like, wonder why he thought he could ask, like, why he asked me that. Like, there's a lot of questions in my head, but I felt like if I got it out and, like, told people about the story, it would help me to, like, I don't know, give me closure of some kind. It's over now, and, like, I learned from it, I guess. I don't really know. I hope he learned from it, honestly, but, like, it's over and done with. Like, there's nothing I can do about it now. But I felt like it would be a good story to tell you guys, because you guys are my friends. And I have no one else to talk to. No, I'm joking. I do. I love you guys. And that's it for today. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Go follow me on all my social media, link in the description. And have a lovely day, you lovely people.